Realistic cinematic lighting doesn't always have to be seen as much as it needs to be felt. It should set the mood and supplement your story rather than call attention to itself. To achieve this natural-looking technique, we don't need grip trucks full of expensive lighting or even big crews. All we need is to understand and master one simple technique and avoid some crucial mistakes along the way to deliver stunning results every single time. When shooting a scene, we usually shoot in sequences. A wide for context, a medium for character building, and a close-up for detail. Wait, hold on. What does any of this have to do with lighting? It actually has a lot to do with lighting because we need to set the framework. And here we can use our wide shot as a reference to determine where our light source is coming from. And we can clearly see that there is two big windows in the background on our talent's right side. Right, so now that we know that our character is being lit by natural sunlight, we know where our light source needs to be. Meaning we know that our light is coming from camera left. But not only this, we can also determine the color temperature of our light source, because here we can clearly see that it is day outside, so our light source will be daylight balanced. Cool, so now we not only know the direction of our light source, we also know its color temperature. And if you combine all of these things, then this is what we call light motivation. And if I zoom out, let me actually zoom out, then you can see that we are using a big, nice light source on our camera left, and it's also daylight balanced to mimic coming from the windows in the background. As our key light, we're using the Intellitek Mega 8 because it gives off a super nice and soft light. But here you can use whatever your budget allows as long as the color temperature sits around daylight. So now we learned we want our key light on the same side as our natural light source. We also want our key light to nicely wrap around our character's face to not only give it a really soft touch, but also add a natural shadow fall off. And since we used our wide shot as a reference, we can now apply the same lighting technique to all other shots in our sequence, even if we don't see a light source at all. And here's a quick tip for you. The bigger the light source and the closer it is to your subject, the softer the light will be. And we do like some soft light. Most of the times anyway. Before we move on to our second scene, let me quickly show you what it would look like if we were to place the key light on the opposite side of our windows. Not only does this lighting look kind of flat and boring because we're missing contrast, it also doesn't look natural. By placing our key light on the opposite side of our windows, we now created an unrealistic light source, because now the part of my face that is facing the windows is darker than the part that is facing the rest of the room. Our audience's subconscious expects the light to be coming from the windows in the background. Now where is the second light source coming from? That doesn't make any sense. Speaking of second, let's move on to our second lighting setup. What if we don't have a natural light source and we're being lit by ceiling lights or practicals indoors at night? The principle here remains the same, and we can use the same techniques to make our scene look natural and realistic. You know what else we need for realistic cinematic videos? Good music and sound effects. And I get mine from Audio. Audio has a high quality selection of curated music and sound effects. But what makes it even better is how easy Audio makes it to find the right track for your project with their AI features. When I need music for a new project, I just describe what I need inside Audio's AI search called Hans, and it immediately spits out several tracks that perfectly match my project. This feature alone makes looking for music so much faster, but also a lot more enjoyable. True story. Just today I got an email from a client from our most recent project, and I quote, "The music could not have been better." And all I had to do was describe the scene to Hans. Good old Hans. And since Audio also offers a high quality selection of sound effects, you have a one-stop-for-all solution for as little as $59 for 1 year if you use my code Cooper70 with the link in the description below. When filming indoors at night, we also have to look for light motivation, trying to find the natural source in a shot. Here we obviously can't use the sun as light motivation, as we can clearly see that it is dark outside. Unless... Hey Siri, turn on the moon. Now we can use the moon as our light motivation, turning our key light a cold color temperature and wrapping it around our face, for a really moody night scene. If this shot is too dark and moody for you, we can also use something as simple as a desk lamp as light motivation. We can use the exact same technique here, just making our key light warmer so it looks like it's coming from the lamp standing on our desk. And if this is still too dark and moody for you, we can bring in a top light as well to make it even brighter. In our opening scene, we could see that there are ceiling lights. So by adding a soft light from above, we can add even more light to our scene without making it look unrealistic. Another way of selling realistic lighting is to keep your light consistent throughout your scenes. This can mean one or two things: direction of light and quality of light, where one might be a little bit more important than the other. It could be weird switching angles and then all of a sudden your light is coming from a totally different direction. Hold on, let's rewind. This can mean one or two things: direction of light and quality of light, where one might be a little bit more important than the other. It could be weird switching angles and then all of a sudden your light is coming from a totally different direction. There's one more ingredient to consistency other than light direction, and that is quality of light. And for this, let's look at our opening scene. Just as before, we will use our establishing shot as our reference shot. Here, we're not using any additional lighting at all. All the other lights are the existing light sources in the room. We have the ceiling spots, my hipster lamp, my desk monitor, and our Shyman P. For our medium shots, I wanted a far softer light source, so I brought in a light mat overhead with a softbox. The direction is the same as our ceiling lights, but the light is a lot softer. Just make sure when bringing in your own soft lights to not mix them with the harsh lights on location. If you can't turn them off, then tape over them, or put something in front of them, or even screw out the light bulb. And usually, the closer you get to your subject, the softer the light should be, as on the wide shot it's easier to get away with harsher lights. The lighting in our establishing shot isn't soft or pretty at all, but here we can get away with it, because we are so far away. But as soon as we come closer, this doesn't look good at all. Yuck! And this brings us to the conclusion of our video. We take our wide shot to establish the direction and the quality of our light, and this is what we call light motivation, as we can now bring in our own lights for the medium and close-up shots to mimic the existing lights on our location, to not only make it aesthetically pleasing but also make it look realistic. And if we've done our job right, it looks like we didn't light anything at all.